I gotta get some things on my chest. So a few days ago, LeBron officially signed with the 76ers. Cool. You can check out Stay on That Side Pod where I have my reaction. I also made a quick little reaction on Instagram and all my socials. You can check that out as well. Um, but I'm not really here to talk about that, man. I'm here to talk about two other teams that just seem like stuck in limbo at the current moment. I would say one team is resting the other, but both teams at the current moment are stuck in limbo, and I'm just curious to see what they do. Um, the first team I want to talk about is Golden State. Golden State Warriors, and it's just been a shit show, in like the most like respectful way I could have said it, man. Like it's been a shit show from striking out on LeBron to AD might be in the trade and then like the two timelines. It's just been going on for a while. It's not just this off season. It's been years stacking upon each other, and I think this is just like the climax of it just being like a complete mess. Right? You still have Steph Curry. I don't care how old he is. Until he decides that he is done playing basketball, you have Steph Curry, arguably the greatest point guard of all time on your team, and you're not even making the playoffs on a consistent basis, and he is still performing at a all-star, all NBA level. Yeah, you traded for Jimmy Butler, but Jimmy Butler probably is not playing this next year. If he is, he's coming off of an ACL. He's making $60 million. Uh, what you gonna give Draymond back his $30 million? Like you got an old Al Horford, you got a Kristaps who can't stay healthy. Like Moses Moody isn't playing next year. It's just like, what are you doing to maximize Steph Curry? And from what reports have said the last few days, is actually nothing. Joe Lacob, it was reports either yesterday or the day before that, but Joe Lacob said that he's more worried about the future than Steph Curry at the current moment. Well, Joe Lacob, let me tell you something. Steph Curry is your past, present, and future. You did what I'm saying? So, like, you shouldn't be worried about anything else. You shouldn't be worried about anything else. Like, and then you're not even doing it well. You're not even preparing for the future. Well, you had a Jordan Poole. You let him get beat on by Draymond. Jonathan Kuminga, y'all didn't handle that right. Brandon Podziemski, Pods, he's cool. That's the point guard that's gonna lead y'all down greatness for the next 20 years. Y'all had a top 3 pick at one time, and y'all took James Wiseman. We see how that went. So yeah, Joe Lacob, worry about the future because lately, like you haven't been good at that. You haven't been good in the present, and you're holding on to the past of Bob Myers. It wasn't even your work, and I don't even think it's hard. You have Steph fucking Curry. Steph fucking Curry. It's not that hard at all. LeBron goes and signs with Philly, cool, right? And like you guys start like making this whole thing of Mario Hezonja. We don't get Braun, but we get Mario Hezonja. Y'all couldn't even get him. He signed to Cleveland. Y'all couldn't even strike out and get Mario Hezonja. Like really, it was a graphic I seen on Instagram, and it was like every trade that each team has done since the offseason started. There was one team who did not one trade. It was one team. You know what that team was? You guessed it. The Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors. Like, I know it's not going to happen, but like if I'm Steph, I'm genuinely requesting a trade. I don't want to be there anymore. I know it's not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen. Like he's on the last leg of his career, right? Last stretch. He's been there his whole career. He probably wants to hit 20 years at one organization. You know what I'm saying? But if he wants to win and he wants to compete for championships, Golden State is not the place. And quite frankly, I don't think anybody would be mad if Steph decided that he wants to go somewhere else and try to compete, because anybody who watches basketball can see that he is still a all NBA level point guard at 36 or 37, however old he is. And I think the Warriors feel like because he's not going to leave, they can just kind of like, you know what I'm saying, do whatever, chill. Paying Draymond $30 million. Draymond's cool. Draymond's a Hall of Famer, great defender. But at this point of his career, $30 million? Really? And then, like, you get LeBron, cool. LeBron and Steph is super fun to watch, but I don't even think you're a championship team, even with LeBron and Steph Curry. So, I don't know where they go from here. Um, I don't know if you can trade Jimmy Butler, especially if he isn't playing, right? You brought back Porzingis. It was on a friendly contract, I think mid-level exception. That's nothing crazy. You brought back Al Horford. You brought back D'Anthony Melton, which I actually do like. But that doesn't move the needle for me in the West. Like, if we went down each team in the West, like, who are the Warriors beating? Thunder, San Antonio, Denver, Houston, Minnesota. Like, I don't think they're beating any of those teams. And those are going to be teams that get better. So, like, where did you do from now? Where do you go if you're Golden State? I have no clue. If y'all know, y'all let me know in the comments, because I don't know where you go from. I don't know where you go from here. You put all your eggs in the LeBron basket. It didn't work. Then you put all your eggs in Mario Hezonja. That didn't work. Now it's reports that y'all are more focused on the future than Steph Curry right now. Some people just don't need to be making decisions. I'll say that. But next team, the next thing I want to talk about is the Detroit Pistons and Jalen Duren. And this one, again, another team and a player who's just like, it's kind of like who's gonna budge first? Who's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Who going to cave in first, right? Because Jalen Duren wants his bag. Detroit like, nah, we'll give you this, but we ain't giving you that. And then it's like the first few days of free agency, it's like Jalen Duren got all the leverage. Like, I'll go get a max from somewhere else, and y'all got to match it. That didn't happen. Okay, cool. I'll go take this and we could do a signing trade. He requested a signing trade. That didn't happen. Money's dried up. Like, almost every team kind of got like their roster for the upcoming season, just probably, you know, building around the edges. But for the most part, every team is kind of set for the beginning of the season. So it's like, it's only Detroit that he can go back to. Now, does he go back for the qualifying offer, which is rarely seen in his position, right? Does he go for what the Detroit is trying to give him, or do the Detroit Pistons cave in? I don't know what they do. I genuinely don't think he goes for a qualifying. It's just not common. It's not common at all. Maybe he proves us wrong. He is like 22, right? Maybe he proves us wrong. He's like, nah, bro. Like, I know I'm gonna come out and hoop next year, and they either have to pay me or I'm walking. It'd be interesting to see. But on the Pistons side of it, right? Like you just come off of a 61 season. K looked like MVP candidate. Duren was an All NBA center, All Star center. Right? You get to the second round of the playoffs, you flame out, and then you trade Isaiah Stewart. Uh, the whole Jalen Duren situation. You lose Tobias Harris to San Antonio. It's like it's like you're supposed to be building upon what successful season you just had, and if you ask me, they're worse than what they were last year. Like, I understand you might have a trade Isaiah Stewart because you probably wanted a contract extension and he wanted too much. You want to send him to second April, cool. You feel like maybe Tobias was gonna go get uh, too much money somewhere else. You couldn't pay him, cool. But the number one problem you guys had last year in Detroit was another creator on the ball outside of Kate Cunningham, and you guys don't go solve that problem. You lose depth, and then your All NBA center. Y'all are in disagreements and contract negotiations and conversations, and potentially damaging the relationship each day it goes on. That's not how you bounce back off of a 60-win season, second round of playoffs, and the East is 1,000 times better. Like, if you go down the standings, like there's probably about 4 to 5 teams you take over the Pistons right now, even if they do sign Jalen Duren. And they were the 1 seed last year, and again had 60 wins. But you look at the East now, you have Philly. Cleveland's going to be a great regular season team. New York just won a championship. Indiana's coming back. You still have Boston. Toronto's going to be better. Like the East is not a slouch this year. And you didn't improve. I like Isaiah Joe coming off the bench as a spark plug. Some more shooting. I like John Collins. John Collins has turned himself into a 3-point sniper over his career. Many people might haven't watched because he's been stuck in Utah, fairly so. I'm not gonna act like I was watching Utah games, but you go look at the numbers. He's been pretty consistent, especially from that 3-point line. But again, the main thing you needed, you didn't get, and as of right now, who was out there for you to get? DeMar? I love DeMar. But does DeMar really move the needle? DeMar might have a great regular season, but, you know, playoffs come. Again, I love DeMar, but, you know what I'm saying? Numbers is numbers. History is history. Do you go try to trade for somebody? Who do you go trade for? So, like, Benedict Mathurin is still out there. Maybe Benedict Mathurin could bring them some punch, but depending on what you try to get him to do, the Clippers match it. It's just like, where do you go now? Because you have to get better as a team, even if you sign Jalen Duren to the long term deal or he goes for a qualifying offer. Like, there's no other team Jalen Duren can go to. Like, it's not that he's not going to be on the Pistons next year. It's just how he's going to be on the Pistons next year, whether it's qualifying, whether the Pistons give him what he wants, he gets his max deal, and then the relationship afterwards. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just interesting to see what they do, man. Especially because of like where they came from, like coming from losing 28 games in a row. Uh, there was no hope coming from the Killian Hayes of the world, and Blake Griffin playing on one knee just to get swept. You had the three centers playing, like, coming from all of that, right, to getting to 60 wins and being the number one team in the East and having a top 15 player, arguably top 10 player in the league, to now, like, you might be in the number 5, number 6 in the East. You depend, like the East is deep. You might go to a 7th seed and have to be in the play-in. I don't think it'll get that bad, but it's a possibility because of how good the East has gotten. going from the 1 seed of 60 wins to maybe a 7th seed in a play-in. Like, at this point, we've seen what you guys can do. That would be disappointing. It would not be a good signing. It would not be a good look. So outside of just not only getting this Jalen Duren situation handled, they need to figure out what they are going to do with another creator outside of Cade Cunningham. Because right now they don't have it. Danis Jenkins is a great backup guard. He played phenomenal when Cade went out for those few games, but I don't think that is your answer. Obuga Okori is a great scorer. It was a great scorer at Stanford, but you don't put that pressure on a rookie guard. Isaiah Joe is cool, great shooter, but he's not really a scorer off the ball with the ball in his hand. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and the best player outside of K who was doing that last year was Tobias, and he went to San Antonio. So again, like, you're losing assets and not gaining assets. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I don't know where they go from here. I think the number one priority is figuring out this Jalen Duren situation. And then from there, whether you can try to make like an in-season trade or hopefully somebody said, I don't know where they go from here, but if they want to be as competitive as they were last year, like, they need to make a move because this roster is not it. So those are the two most interesting teams, like, just stuck in limbo, confusing teams for me right now. And yeah, let me know how y'all feel about both situations. Detroit fans, let me know how y'all feel about their situation. What should they do? Just Jalen Duren deserve a max? Would you give him less? Warriors fans, how do y'all feel? If I was a Warriors fan, I would. Hey, once Steph Curry gone, I'm gone. If I'm a Warriors fan, I'm just saying, and I ain't mad at you. I'll bandwagon it. Fuck it, cause right now they look like they don't know how to operate shit right. So that's all I got, man. Y'all like, comment, subscribe. Let me know y'all thoughts, and I'm out.